day one. Try and steal the decoration. Dun dun dun! Doo-doo!
So this is my apartment tour, my Spanish apartment. Disregard, or not, because I'm zooming in, the pile of clothes here. I don't have a laundry basket, and I normally use my tiny suitcase, but I'm going to travel tomorrow, so I need it for its actual purpose. We have my bed, it's kind of covered in stuff, but I have my t-shirt quilt that's pretty cool. It has my t-shirts from college and high school on it, and of course my laptop. So this is my room. I have a tiny space heater, and I finally got one of these clocks that looks like a wood block and it lights up. It's 5:32 and 63 degrees in here. So I have a space heater because it gets freezing at night. And this is my room. Hello. And so we're gonna go out. This is the living room. I use it pretty frequently, and obviously right now we are using it to dry our clothes because there are no electric dryers in Spain. Sadly, they never really caught on apparently. So this is the living room. We hang out in here and I have my friends over, and we have a very festive tiny TV that we don't use in a Domino's balloon. This is the bathroom, and the lights are going to work. Okay. Yep, this is our washer, the shower. I pretty much have this bathroom to myself, even though there are 4 people living in this house, because apparently no one wanted to share the tiny bathroom, which I'm cool with, so I have room for all of my stuff on the counter. And yeah, there's also a clothesline out the window. That's why there's all those clothespins on the back of the toilet, but since it's been so rainy because it's the winter, we mostly just dry our clothes inside. The other bathroom. We have the toilet and of course the bidet. You can't be in Spain without having one bidet in the house, of course. So yeah, and then we have the kitchen. It's a pretty nice kitchen. I like it. It's a table. The fridge is pretty small, and so is the freezer. I think it's pretty general, just that the fridge size is smaller in Spain. We have a gas stove, which I like, but I have no idea how to use the oven, and we kind of agreed that we wouldn't use it anyway because we have to pay for our gas separately. Yeah, and then this little part is where my roommates who smoke come out and smoke their cigarettes, so fortunately the whole place doesn't smell like cigarettes, which I like. So we just kind of use it to store stuff too. But that's the apartment that I live in. I'm not going to show you my roommates' rooms because you don't do that. Not going in their rooms. This is some footage from a farmer's market that I went to the first weekend that I arrived in Spain. It is a little bit different, but still pretty similar to the farmer's markets that are in the United States. One of the differences is that this one at least does not seem as hipster or trendy as a lot of the farmer's markets are in the United States. There weren't a whole lot of young people there, there's a lot of old people shopping. One of the things there that's different than in the United States is that there is just the meat lying out in the open air. You wouldn't see that even at any farmer's market, despite how natural or fresh it is. The only meat I've ever seen in the United States at a farmer's market is frozen. And honestly, it's a little bit more appetizing to see fresh meat, even if it is out in the open. Maybe it is smoked, I don't know, but buying frozen meat's kind of a turn off. Another thing that's different that I didn't get any footage of, unfortunately, is that it is literally a farmer's market. Farmers go there and they will buy farm animals there. I saw live chickens, I saw a farmer, just hugging a chicken walking around. There were rabbits, pigs. I could hear them. Fortunately, I didn't get to see them. Another one of the things you could see is some woman like shucking beans out of the pods. It was a big bean festival there, so everyone wanted to buy beans. I think it's a little bit funny that there's an entire festival about beans, but they can do whatever they want, I suppose. This is the view from the Torre de Hercules, which is a lighthouse from the Roman Empire that's just sitting in the coast of Coruña. It is the last standing and functional lighthouse from the Roman Empire, which is still pretty cool. It's this big chunky lighthouse and it's quite a climb to get up top. One of the funny things that I thought happened when I was there was that there were tourist companies selling segways that you can rent to ride to the base of the tower, and then obviously you can't segue up the stairs there, so I didn't really see the point in that other than trapping them there. But I thought that was funny. It is a very nice climb. I thought it was pretty easy. People like really hyped it up that it was going to be a tough climb. Of course it wasn't easy, but it wasn't nearly as hard as I had anticipated. This is footage from a concert from a venue that we often go to. It is called En Sumisa. It is a former squat, which means the occupants there were there illegally, but I recently found out that they are now there legally, but still have that underground kind of edgy vibe to it, as if it were still, we're not supposed to be there. But there's a variety of different types of music that play there, and it is free. Of course, they do ask for donations for the artists, but you can give whatever you want. And the alcohol is cheap, and it's always a good time to like hang out, meet with your friends, meet new people. And despite it being any kind of music can play there, it has a very punk vibe. The punk scene in Spain here, or in Coruña, is very lively, more than I anticipated and more than I've really seen in the US. It's nice, I like it. Trucks. I think it's interesting that they like rise out of the ground and you put them back in. I don't know. I just think it's really interesting. It's different than what you see in the US. This is a little walking tour of the school that I work at. It is a secondary school, which is the Spanish version of high school, but a little bit broader. There are ages from 10 to 18 there, but it is still a really small school. My school is in a town called Cambre. It is about 20 minutes outside of Coruña, so I have to get rides there from teachers every day, which isn't so bad. But I enjoy working there, and it is a very small school, so despite that I still get lost because the classroom numbering system is different than the United States. I don't think it's nearly as straightforward. It's separated by the grades that they're in.
Yeah, this room is inspired on this, okay? 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. This is inspired on this.
Patrick, tell me again.
I say that the room I want to see is inspired on the book. You want to see the shark fin?
Shark fin!
Fish are friends, not food. It's my shitty Australian accent.
Something's a little fishy in here.
Fish in the sea. I'm seeing a turtle.
Touch the fish. Oh,
Baby!
Banga. Oh my god, look at it. Look at its whiskers. It's kissing everyone. Faces. It's a flirt.
is such a flirt. Ooh, look at that tum tum. Mermaid man and barnacle boy. Tell me your thoughts on barnacles again, Caroline.
Barnacles are very interesting. I just want to study them and look at them and touch them.
Tell me again.
Barnacles are very interesting, and I want to study them and look at them and touch them.
You heard that first, folks. Caroline wants to touch barnacles.
This is some footage that I took from my day trip to Santiago de Compostela, which is the capital of Galicia. So Galicia is similar to like the states in the US, it's the communities, so of course it has its own capital. Despite it being the capital, it is not the largest city or most populated or busiest city in the community, which would probably be Coruña, where I live, but it is one of the older cities, so it has a lot of history. So they have the giant cathedral there, which is shown a little bit in the video. The Cathedral of Santiago is special because so many people from across Europe or even the world take a pilgrimage there because it is the ending point and St. James is supposedly buried in there. And I got a picture, pretty bad picture of his chambers there. So that's pretty cool. It doesn't have much personal meaning to me, but it's very interesting that the city that is a 30-minute train ride from my home in Spain is so important to so many people. It's also a little weird because you can run into some pilgrims there, and regardless of whether they are, they look like a religious people or not, they can look like kind of sketchy too, and they will ask you for money, which is a little.
It's cheating.
No, Caroline.
Boiling cranberry juice, because that's what you do on Friendsgiving. What are we gonna call this Spanish?
Friendsgiving.
We have to come up with like a Spanish.
We're not having Spanish food with it though. It's Friendsgiving 2K18.
Amigo gracias.
17. Dia de mil gracias.
Dia de acción de gracias.
No. It's our own version though, so you have to change it.
Amigo gracias.
Oh, I thought you were saying amigo.
Oh, amigo gracias.
Amigo gracias.
Amigo gracias.
Amigo gracias. Is this boiling yet?
No.
Caroline, what are you making? She's just eating bread. She's supposed to be making stuffing.
Are you live or something?
No.
Is this your regular camera?
Yeah.
So me and my American friends put together a Thanksgiving in Spain. So we prepared some of our favorite Thanksgiving foods. I made macaroni and cheese. Which isn't traditional that I have in my Thanksgiving at home, but I love mac and cheese, so, and some families do have it, so I made it. We also had green bean casserole from Ashley and stuffing from Caroline, and our not American friends brought dishes that they wanted to. So we had flan de queso, we had mashed potatoes from Jason, who is also American, and some other stuff that I don't remember the name of. But it was a fun celebration. Our Spanish friends got a kick out of this celebration because obviously there is no Thanksgiving in Spain, so I think it was a fun time for everyone. So this exciting looking ceremony is called queimada. It is a Galician tradition where you, as you can see, you can
lume vai queima aguardente que hai que misturado casero se cantado co cántico máxico converte o brase máxico para impar e purificar as almas dos presentes que así sexa lume.
Flavored with special herbs or coffee plus sugar, lemon peel, coffee beans, and cinnamon. It is traditionally prepared in a hollow pumpkin. In this case, it was not in a hollow pumpkin, it was in a rustic looking bowl. The goal of the preparation ritual is to distance the bad spirits according to the tradition, lie, and men and women to try and curse them. So it's a good thing this goes on once a week. It goes on every Thursday at midnight, so I guess it's technically Friday morning. It's free, so that's pretty cool. You get to drink free hot alcohol. It's actually pretty sweet. It tastes pretty good. In my opinion, some of my friends don't really like it, but who can turn down free alcohol?
Xoan por Silvestre e por noso rei, o rei Breogán. Pedi así que os irmáns pobre base que vos ha de purificar. Ei, lume lumiña, que verde camiña, da fraga lareira, faixe lumeira, lume de quentura pra nosa fratura, lume... Ai, fi, en ti cunco de caños dos esos dos coisas se veñan a purificar, fai que en ti caian esos dos esos. E que unha vez cando brevaxe purificador en eles veña o ben en ti, que caen esos dos esos salgan de ti fora desta casa, que se sexa lume. Lume!
Coating, fragments of change. Unraveling, under, I'm deserting, he's been coating, fragments of change. I without running in sight. Play on gray without flicking lines. Play on fly without running in sight. Ooh, nothing drab, nothing drab. Nothing drab, nothing drab. Nothing drab, drab.
This amazing and talented man is Zan Hoffman. He is not Spanish, as you can see. My roommate told me about him and invited me to the show, and it turns out he is an American man from Kentucky who is in love with Galicia. He's obsessed with it. So he now lives here and he does these shows. When I found out that he's super obsessed with Galicia, I assumed that he had a good level of Spanish and Gallego, the language that they speak in Galicia, but it turns out it's probably worse than my level, as especially the pronunciation. For example, the city that I live in is called A Coruña. He says it at Coruña, so if that's any indicator of how his speaking in there, it is. So he's a very eccentric man, and the show was free, fortunately, and it turned out that he had released upwards of 15 new albums since my roommate had seen him last maybe a year ago. So not 15 new songs, but new albums. So he's really dedicated to his craft, his art, and if this is an indicator of how anyone can be a musician, I think this is one of the better ones.
the big monkey on your.
This is the end of the first part of my series of living in Spain, the general version. Of course, I have the other videos about food and my travels around Europe. But yeah, so thank you for watching, and do whatever you do at the end of these videos. You can like, comment, subscribe, wherever these buttons so happen to land, and we'll see you next time.